What's up, Matt? What's up, Goose? How's everybody doing? What's up, Brad Pitt? Y'all hear me all right? Should be able to. What's up, Magadog? Yeah, I got a lot going on around the house today. I snuck out and back. I got contractors inside the house working on something. And they're going to be here for like 3 hours. What's up, Sea Dog? So there's really no way I can do the midday show from my studio. What's up, Turner Kirby? Seeing fans say that we need to start Cade because of the rest of the season doesn't mean anything. I don't know if the rest of the season doesn't mean anything. I guess that depends on what kind of fan you are. I guess there's a certain amount of people that think if Clemson's not a playoff team in that, then the season's a bust. I don't think that way. I still want them to win the ACC, and I still want them to win whatever New Year's Six bowl game they go to. I don't really know what to do. I mean, I'm as confused as everybody else about the quarterback situation, because it doesn't appear to me like either one of them really are playing very well right now. Of course, Cade hasn't had near the opportunities that DJ has. If you look at these statistics over the past 2 games offensively for Clemson are pitiful. And if you look the entire season, because they were having, I mean, there was a point there before the Syracuse game where they were averaging 38 points a game, almost 500 yards of offense per game, over 200 yards on the ground per game. And then that just all went away in the past 2 games. And second down has been abysmal all season. I'll wait till some more people get in here, and I'll read you some second down stats that are shocking, because I was harping on this during the game about how terrible second down has been. What's up, Nature Boy? But it's really shocking. They're virtually in last in almost every passing category on second down in the country. No bueno. And Dabo's already said his thing. What's up, Pro Potato? Cade should have came in the second half. Yeah, he should have started at the beginning of the second half, and he should have stayed in even after that turnover. You don't do the bench somebody because they're playing bad, bring somebody in, then put the other guy back in. That's not a formula for success. We've seen that play out with other teams before. It just doesn't work. Yeah. And they at this point, what's up, Chunky? What's up, Kirby? At this point, it's very clear that the offensive staff, Jeff Scott and company, don't trust DJ to push the ball downfield. That's why what you saw on Saturday, the game plan for them was to throw a bunch of bubble screens. It should have been to run the ball, because like I said, Clemson's averaging close to 200 yards on the season per game rushing, and then they give Will Shipley the ball 12 times. And they give Maffa the ball like 4 or something, 6. It wasn't a lot. Damn it, it's getting windy out here now. Stuff's blowing all over the place. Dabo straight fired the coach. What do you mean? What's up, Yagov? Miyagi. DJ won't be at Clemson in 2023. No, he will not. I'd be shocked if he was. Joel Klatt said that Clemson's still in the running for the CFP and will depend on 2 conference champions having 2 losses. Yeah, well, mathematically they're still in it. I don't know. I don't even want to see him in there. Why does a playoff caliber team like Bama and Clemson have bums for coordinators? Well, I don't know if they're bums, but I mean, look, this is Brandon Streeter's first job as a coordinator. This is Wes Goodwin's first job as a coordinator. And I'm seeing people, I don't know if people didn't watch the game or what. I mean, the defense was behind the 8 ball in this game. Now, It was disturbing that they couldn't stop the run and they knew the run was coming. That was disturbing. But I mean, 2 of those touchdowns were scored. One was scored on a punt return for a punt block for a touchdown, and the other one was a 95-yard pick six. So the defense only gave up 21 points. The defense didn't play bad. It wasn't their best game of the season by any stretch of the imagination, but they didn't play bad. The offense didn't help them out at all. I mean, you got to have something going on offense for I mean, the defense can't do it all. Yeah, they did. They kept him in check between the 20s. That's right. They couldn't keep him out the end zone, though, once they got there. Wake, we had a bunch of guys out. Yeah. I mean, the secondary was depleted in the Wake game, but, you know, I feel like every time a team has a struggle win or a loss, they immediately go to the, you know, we had this guy hurt, we had that guy hurt. Literally every team has guys hurt, especially, you know, this late in the season. The interception by Cade Klubnik was just a bad decision by him. I mean, I understand what he was trying to do. He didn't want to take a loss, and he kind of just flung it up there, but he shouldn't have done that. If he was going to fling it up there, he should have flung it up out of bounds. That was just a total freshman silly mistake. What's up, Slim? What's up, Clint? It's been funny these past 24 hours or so, like gauging the Clemson fan base, because you got really 2 types of people. I think I fall somewhere in the middle, and I'm sure other people do too. Oh, you have some bad, the armadillo, that's my neighbor's dog. You have some bad weather in Georgia? Well, that sucks. I hope it doesn't come this way, because it's nice out. It's hot. It's like 80-something degrees. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, I think I fall somewhere in the middle, because you got Clemson fans that are just ready to clean house and fire everybody. I mean, not Dabo Swinney. No, nobody's going that crazy yet. I mean, look, they played a bad game. It was a bad loss. But let's pump the brakes here a little bit. But people just want to clean house. And then you have people that think, you know, the house is on fire and everything's fine. You seen that baby, Pete? What baby? Baby's he talking about? Oh, the baby that I saw flying through the air during the hurricane? No, I'm assuming their parents found them. I went looking and no luck. Yeah. Poor baby. Yeah, but Dabo's already done the thing where he said, you know, DJ's my guy. It's the same thing he's been saying all season. So the people that are out there calling for a quarterback change, you aren't going to get it. I mean, I don't know. For all I know, he might just move to some sort of quasi 2-quarterback system, which I'm not a fan of. I wish he'd pick one and stick with him. Pete, it makes you just cherish 2015 and 2016. I mean, technically, they still have loaded rosters. What's up, Vic? Offensively, you know, the receivers have not lived up to expectation. The quarterback hasn't lived up to expectation. I don't think you can really blame the running game too much, or at least with the running backs anyway. I think they played great for the majority of the season when they get their opportunities. What's up, Ballin' with AC? Dabo needs to just go ahead and pull DJ, let him go into the summer and compete, or let him into the portal. What's up, Mountaineer Mike? Yeah, well, if he benches DJ, DJ's gone. I mean, DJ might be gone anyway, for all I know, but if he gets benched, he's definitely gone. Paxton's in the house. Big game for Texas this week, isn't it? They play TCU, don't they? Who did they play this weekend? Is it TCU? No. Hell, I don't even remember. Has a school won the ACC in football and basketball in the same year? Asking for a friend. That's a great question. You mean in the ACC or any other conference? Maybe. I don't know. When's the last time North Carolina won it? They might have won the ACC in basketball that year, for all I know. I don't follow basketball that closely, so. Yeah, TCU, that's right. I might end up deciding who wins the Big 12, or at least you'll have a rematch. Kane's playing the quarterback. Oh, so we got more than one ACC team playing the quarterback hokey pokey. Oh. Yeah, it just never works. It never works. Take DG out, put Kate in. Take Kate out, do the hokey pokey, and you turn yourself over. That's what it's all about, yeah. The amount of points that Clemson has given up of like 90 yards or more in the past couple of weeks is astounding. A couple of pick sixes. Well, no, one of them was a fumble return for 90 yards. The other one was a pick six for 90 yards. The other one was a blocked punt return for 6 points for whatever that was, 60 yards. Unbelievable. What's up, UCF? Yeah, UCF's good right now. Yeah, I mean, they should win the ACC. But again, it's like I said yesterday, if they play the way in the ACC championship, it's most likely going to be North Carolina, right? If they play the way they played against Notre Dame, they'll lose to North Carolina. I mean, that's a sad state of affairs, but it's just a fact. If they play the way that they played against NC State and Wake Forest, they'll win. So I don't know which team's going to show up from week to week. What's up, Rack Dog? Billy, you're crazy. Okay, I'm glad you brought that up, Britt. That's a great question. So for those of you who hadn't heard, Jeff Scott, the head coach at University of South Florida, former Clemson Tiger offensive coordinator, has been fired from USF a couple days ago, yesterday, I think. And so the rumors are, well, first, let's back up. I think most Clemson fans feel like that the minute that Jeff Scott left and took the job at USF, that's when Clemson's offense began to get stale and sputter. And there is some truth to that. Now, he wasn't sole offensive coordinator at Clemson. He was the co-offensive coordinator. But anyway, so now people want him back at Clemson. I don't think you're going to see that. I don't think you're going to see it. I think he's more likely to go somewhere else. Unfortunately, Dabo Swinney is, you know how he is. He digs his heels in. I don't think well, first of all, Dabo Swinney has never fired anybody that he's hired. He's fired 2 coordinators. But neither one of those were guys that he had hired. They were left over from the Bowden years. So, he's not going to fire Brandon Streeter or demote Brandon Streeter. He's not going to fire Wes Goodwin in year 2 or demote Wes Goodwin in year 2. And, I mean, I guess technically he could bring in Jeff Scott if he wanted to be co-offensive coordinator with Brandon Streeter, but I don't think he has any interest in doing that. And Dabo said we don't have a spot for him. Scott Frost. You bet all 3 of those guys are going to get fired and bring the dream team back together? Well, I don't know about that. I see UCF Jaguar in here. Big win by the Jags yesterday, man. 21-point comeback win. A lot of teams have a need for an offensive coordinator. Yeah, firing Dabo is not happening. Yeah, it was a tough situation for Cade. And just like somebody said a minute ago, if you make the change, it should have been done at halftime. Does a conference champ, one-loss Clemson get in touch? What? Shit. Over a one-loss Michigan. No. No, Michigan gets in ahead. Dabo wouldn't get fired, but what? No, that wouldn't happen for a while. Look, Clemson's going to win 11 games this year. At least. Oh, nobody's getting fired for winning 11 games. I don't care where you work. Most years, Clemson would get in with one loss. What was it? Well, 2 of the 3 years they got in, they were 13-0 going into the playoffs. The 1 year they had that one loss against Pitt. Maybe a couple of times. The year with Kelly Bryant, they had a loss. I don't know. I'm having a hard time remembering. Anyway, my point is a one-loss ACC champ most years will get the nod. This is a different year. This is a different year mainly because of the Pac-12 and the fact that both Michigan and Ohio State are still undefeated going into the second week of November. There's a slight chance you could see both of those teams get in the playoffs, both Michigan and Ohio State. You're going to see at least one team from the Pac-12 get in, unless some really crazy shit happens there. You're going to get the SEC champion. That's 3 already. Sam Howell was bad. Sam Howell only played 1 season in college. Michigan should not be in the playoffs. Well, it really depends on the loser of that game between Ohio State and Michigan. If it's a close game, then there will be an argument for the loser to still make the playoffs. If it's a blowout, that might get you knocked out. The committee does not look kindly upon blowouts. They especially don't look kindly on blowouts to unranked teams, which is what happened to Clemson this weekend. It's what happened to Ohio State a few years ago, too, when they got blown out by Purdue, and they got left out. The best thing has been watching the Ohio State fans run around the internet because Clemson lost 1 game and saying that their program is over, they're done, you know. Like they didn't go several years without making the playoffs and have blowout losses to unranked teams on the road like Purdue. Nobody was running around saying Ohio State's program was dead. It's just a retarded statement. But then again, there's a lot of retarded people in Ohio, so that's not really a shock. Most of the Ohio State fans that come on here are all right. You know. You know the whole deal. If you're going to troll somebody, there better be at least some element of truth to it. Just saying dumb shit doesn't work. Oh, yeah. Well, first of all, that's fine. Look, the only reason people care that Clemson is struggling right now is because of how dominant they've been. You know, if Clemson was 8-4 every year, nobody would give a shit if they lost a road game to Notre Dame by 4 touchdowns. Nobody would care. So, Clemson is the 9th rated 2023 recruiting class according to Rivals, finished 10th in 2022. Look, Dabo Swinney, this is his 14th year as head coach. That's about his average. He averages around 11. So, top 10 class for Clemson is pretty much the standard. Now, they've had some years where they were as high as, like, I think their highest class ever was 3. but that was like 6 or 7 years ago. And then we had a couple around 5 or 6, but most of them have been in the 10 to 13 range under Sweeney. That's just really, that's about what you can expect. And a lot of that has to do with the way they recruit and the guys that they recruit. Now, whether or not that's a good or a bad thing is debatable. A lot of people don't like Dabo Sweeney's recruiting style with the visit rule and if you commit, you can't visit anywhere else rule, which we just saw. We just saw this, one of the commits for this year decommit for like 3 days. He decommitted from Clemson so he could get a free trip to Florida State on a recruiting trip. He went down to Florida State for the weekend, came back home from the trip, and recommitted to Clemson. So the whole rule where if you commit, then you can't take trips. Then you can just decommit, take the trip, and then commit if you want to after that. We just saw it happen. So that's really a whole lot to know about nothing as well. But yeah, they average around 10. I'm happy with the top 10 class in any given year. As long as you get the players at the positions that you really need to fix or fill or either. Clemson has no problem recruiting 5-star quarterbacks. We got a ton of them. Don't always work out. Most of them do, though. Some Ohio State fans wanted Ryan Day fired at halftime. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. It was a little concerning. I mean, in all seriousness. Yeah, it's beautiful out here. In all seriousness, yes, you're not going to go out there and throw for 400 yards when the wind's blowing 40 and 50 miles an hour. I don't think anybody expects that, but that's not the problem. The problem is they were getting blown off the line of scrimmage by Northwestern. Northwestern's not even a top 50 team. I don't even know what they're ranked. Are they even ranked in the top 100? They're one of the worst teams in the country. So that's concerning. If you're Ohio State has offensive line problems just like Clemson does. What's up, Pastor Dave? Yeah, Northwestern's 1-8. They're not even in the top 100. The pressure is off Clemson for now. Let the chips fall where they may. Went out the ACC. New Year's 6 still a success. You know what I would like to see? I would like to see if Clemson goes to the Orange Bowl. They usually play a Big Ten team. It's not always a Big Ten team, but that's sort of the conference affiliation there. Whether it's Ohio State or Michigan that finishes second in the Big Ten, I would like to see Clemson play one of them. Not saying they would win. I'm just saying I would like to see them play them, especially Michigan, because Clemson's never played Michigan before in history. So, I mean, it would be fun a couple weeks leading up to the game. A poll is not the CFP. You're right, it's not. Bama and Clemson in a bowl game, that might be a good one too. I think the public is kind of tired of seeing that matchup in the postseason. I'll never get tired of it. I would love to see them play Alabama. I just want to see them play somebody they hadn't played before. Texas is one. Michigan's the other. The two main ones that I can think of. What's up, Mr. Brown? I'd be surprised if Alabama made a New Year's 6 bowl game. Honestly. Smashing Michigan and Harbaugh is fun. Well, if UNC does beat Clemson, then yeah, Clemson will be back in the Cheez-It Bowl. You're right about that. The loser of the ACC is going to the Cheez-It Bowl, so, or the Meineke Car Care Bowl, or the Outback Bowl, or whatever the hell else. I don't know. Would you want to play for UCF, or does playing a group of 5 suck? Yeah. I don't think there's anything wrong with playing a top, when I say top tier, like with the top 10 teams in the group of 5 maybe. Nothing wrong with that. Not much different than playing some of the teams in the Power 5, honestly. I mean, Clemson plays one FCS team every year. I'd rather them get rid of the FCS game and schedule somebody like UCF or Cincinnati or whatever. I don't like cupcake games. I'm a fan. I know the coaches like it, and maybe the players like it too. They can sort of audition and make roster changes based on, it's like a glorified scrimmage. It's not fun to watch. It's never going away though, unfortunately. Tell Uncle Lou to put the Gamecocks on a bowl ban. What's their record? Oh, speaking of Lou, check this out. I meant to show you guys this. Look at these. Look what I got in the mail today. Yeah. Some Chuck Taylors with Peete stitched on them. That's right. Your boy Uncle Lou sent those to me. Yeah. That was nice of him. You said he's got the same pair that say Uncle Lou on them. 12 meaningless bowl games every season. What does that say? F the cupcakes. Yeah, yes, I'm with you. Yeah, Peete Taylors. Yeah, I thought they were pretty sharp. Surprised they didn't get me a pair of socks. We're both sock heads. This is the one good thing about sitting outside to do this. I can smoke. Don't smoke, kids. It's bad for your health. I haven't even looked at the lines for tonight. We got the Lunch Money show tonight at 10 o'clock. We'll see some of these lines are. I'm interested to see what Clemson's is. I know I could look it up right now. Yeah, it's hot here too. I want to say it's probably at least 85 degrees. Any thoughts on Marcus Freeman? Well, he's got a top 5 win in his first season as head coach. That's pretty rare, especially for Notre Dame. I think Marcus Freeman's going to be just fine. They had something like, somebody said 28 or 29 recruits at the game. No, I'm not flat-footed at all. No, I have a huge arch in my foot. I can get some insoles for these. I probably will for the arch because these are flat-footed shoes. But what was I saying? I forgot what I was saying now. Yes, Pastor Dave's an Alabama fan. You think Wake beats North Carolina this weekend? It's very possible. That's going to be a good game. Surely Wake doesn't lose 3 in a row. Anything's possible. It's going to be a high-scoring game. No, these are Camels. Camels is my death stick of choice. Yeah, I know you're not going anywhere. Believe me, sir. Every single week during football season on YouTube, I get some idiot on here telling me that after Clemson loses to this team or that team, then you're not going to see me again. Shit. Been doing this year-round for 5 years. Seen Clemson lose a lot of games. My other favorite one is, don't be talking crap about teams until the game's over. Well, no. No. If you only talk shit after the game's over, that's cowardly. Cowardly. It's easy to talk shit after you win. Really easy. NASCAR is the new... Oh, I know what I was saying that I forgot about earlier. That supposedly Notre Dame had 28 or 30 recruits there for that game. So that's where it's going to start with Marcus Freeman, is improving the recruiting. Because all I've ever heard from Notre Dame fans the entire time Brian Kelly was there, we can't get top 5 class because of our academic standards. Well, Freeman's already doing better than Kelly did. What's a good example of stars don't matter? UGA proved that wrong. Saturday stars do matter. Of course stars matter. Of course they matter. Not for every player, but yeah, I mean, look, Wake Forest is a team that averages a 3-star. They've got like, on any given year, their 25 signees are 19 3-stars, 1 4-star, and the rest are 2-stars. And, every once in a while they get a generational type player like Sam Hartman, and they can win 9 and 10 games. But there's a direct correlation between the amount of stars on that team and their yearly win total. Go down the list. The one that's done worse with the amount of talent they have is Texas A&M, and maybe that's just because Jimbo Fisher's washed up. He's not a good coach. I don't know. Yeah, what's up, Mr. Jimmy Dean? Clemson missed Xavier. Well, yeah, definitely. I mean, but they've been missing him for 3 years. It's unfortunate. Mrs. Peete knows I smoke. Yeah, I'm pretty sure my wife knows I smoke. Yeah, I don't hide it. She wants me to quit, and I want to quit too. It's not easy. She's been wanting me to quit, so. I told her, you didn't marry a quitter, honey. Clemson still has a chance. I mean, mathematically, they do have a chance, yeah. I'm pretty active. I'm pretty active. Not as active as I used to be, but yeah, Clemson still has a chance. So what would have to happen? Let's break this down. Let's figure this out. Because I haven't really put any thought into it, because I'm just assuming that Clemson's not going to make the playoffs, and I'm perfectly okay with that. I'm perfectly okay with that. So what would have to happen for that to happen? You'd have to have some chaos in the Pac-12. You'd have to have at least 2. I think somebody said it earlier. You would have to have at least 2 2-loss conference champs, and Clemson's backdoor their way in there with a 1-loss ACC championship. Tennessee loses to either Vandy, Missouri, or USC. They might lose to South Carolina. That would be a fluke. They're not losing to Missouri or Vanderbilt. No way. And a lot of other teams with 2 losses. Yeah, absolutely. I think, honestly, that Tennessee lost their chance at the playoff this past weekend. They got blown out. They're not going to win their division. They're not going to win their conference. So they'll finish the season 11-1 probably. But there's going to be other teams out there with 1 loss also that maybe at least won their division, or maybe even won their conference. That'll get in ahead of them. The committee does value conference championships. I mean, it's not a rule that you have to have a conference championship to get in, but they're more likely to put in a conference champion over a non-conference champion. The weather is amazing. I'm actually sitting on the porch here in the shade. It's probably in the shade. It's probably like 75. It feels amazing right here. But if you go out in the sun, it gets hot. Fun fact: Tennessee's playoff odds went up over the weekend. Yeah, Georgia ain't played nobody. Tennessee no good. Tennessee no good. Hey Lou, I was just showing off your shoes to everybody, or my shoes that you sent me. Do I watch UFC? So I am about as casual of a UFC fan as you can possibly imagine. I do enjoy watching it. I don't know every fighter. I don't follow their stats and their win and loss record. I'm more likely to be one of these morons that pays $80 for one of the prime time fights or something. Whenever, like Conor McGregor's fighting or something. But I do like it. And I'm a big fan of Rogan. I listen to Rogan. Of course, he talks a lot about it. Although, that's not my favorite episodes of his to listen to. I don't really care that much. UGA gets half a credit for beating half a team. Well, I guess Notre Dame gets half a credit for beating half a team too, because Clemson doesn't have an offense. Brandon, only time UGA plays anybody is when they play and practice against one-on-ones. Oh man, I've loved Joe Rogan for years. I don't know, people get all bent out of shape because I don't know why. But I've always listened to the guy because I like the interesting people he has on there. Okay. Mrs. Peete. Klubnik needs to start the rest of the season and blow everyone out of the water. I would not be upset if Dabo Swinney named Klubnik the starter. I wouldn't be upset at all, but it's not going to happen. He's already said it's not going to happen. Tennessee offense doesn't practice against best defense in the country every single day. UGA does. Yep, you know the old saying, iron sharpens iron. Car key? Hold on. No. No. Streeter needs to go. Yeah, we were having the conversation earlier about Jeff Scott. You know, a lot of people think that there's a chance for Jeff Scott to come back. He ain't coming back because he's not firing Streeter in his first year. What did that say? If UNC wins out and Clemson beats them, especially convincingly, Clemson will get in over a one-loss Tennessee, a one-loss TCU, or one-loss Big Ten non-champ. Yeah, that'd be an interesting scenario. It's going to be a more controversial year when they pick the Final Four this season. I know there's always like a couple teams every season that you could make a case for, and they get upset and say, well, we should have been in there instead of them because we're better and blah, 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 whatever stat you want to name. I think you're going to see 3, 4, 5 teams that are going to be fighting for that 4th spot this year, and a lot of people are going to be butthurt. And this is just going to bolster the expansion of the playoff even more. Any chance a 2-loss team gets in? This might be the best chance for a 2-loss team to get in more than any other season. If LSU wins out, do they get in the playoff? 2-loss SEC champ, and they will most likely have a win over Georgia. Well, they would have a win over Georgia if Georgia wins the East and they lose the SEC championship. That'd be probably a number 1 or number 2 win in the country. They get in. Yeah, probably. What's up, Chance-tastic? I think that based on what I saw with Ohio State's offensive line problems, that Georgia would beat Ohio State by at least 10 points, maybe more. I think Michigan might give Georgia a better game than Ohio State does. And I'm not talking shit. I really believe that. I'll tell you what, Ohio State, they might they might not even win their division. Wouldn't that be something? Wouldn't that be something if Clemson went on to win the ACC, Ohio State goes on to go 11-1, doesn't win their division, and they put Ohio State against Clemson in the Orange Bowl or something? That would be fun. That'd be like a repeat of 2013. Ohio State would beat Clemson by 4 touchdowns. Yeah, I don't know about that. Depends on which Clemson team shows up. I mean, these last 2 games where they haven't looked good, it's been a fuck ton of turnovers. Just stupid things that they can fix. I mean, there's other issues too, not just the turnovers, but the turnovers are the way the scoreboard looked the way they did on Saturday, and against Syracuse. They tighten that up, then they can hang in there with just about anybody in the country. But they're turning the ball over in the red zone and letting teams get 95-yard fumble and interception returns every game. You can't win that way. That's a 14-point swing. Yeah. Well, Clemson has an OC, but I know what you mean. It's like I said in my State of the Fan video yesterday, is that I really think Dabo missed on that. I mean, I think the jury's still out on Wes Goodwin. I'm not ready to throw him under the bus yet, because Clemson's defense has been asked to do too much this season because of the offensive problems and last season. But the offense is not getting any better, and I doubt it will. You might get a little bit better if Klubnik lives up to the hype, but he still needs help on the offensive line, still needs some receivers to step up. Our 2 best receivers are true freshmen. Both of them, Randall and Williams. The upperclassmen have been virtually non-existent this entire season. The leading receiver on Saturday was Davis Allen, the tight end, for 60 yards. That's just not what Clemson people are used to seeing. And we've seen it 2 seasons in a row now. And God has been virtually non-existent. He's had a couple of really good big catches in big games, but he's not a regular. We don't have a deep threat. That's the other thing. I think Randall will be, and he kind of has been a little bit this. We thought Bo Collins might be able to be that, but he had some problems last weekend too. Those freshman receivers should transfer to the real offense like North Carolina. Yeah. Will Dabo hire co-offensive coordinators? I mean, maybe he would offer Jeff Scott to come back and be co-offensive coordinator with Streeter. I don't know whether Jeff Scott would want to do that, but I guess it's possible. Anybody other than Jeff Scott? Probably not. Collins is out for Louisville. Yeah. The part of the reason Dabo sticks with DJ, one, he's very loyal. Yeah, well, I mean, let me see what else you said. 2, wants to keep the 4 and 5 starting quarterback pipeline going, 4 and 5 star quarterback pipeline by not rocking the boat. Yeah, I don't know if I agree with that, man, because he didn't have a problem kicking Kelly Bryant to the curb. He even helped him pack his bags for Trevor Lawrence. I don't know what his loyalty to DJ is about. I mean, there's nothing wrong with being loyal to your player. But, I mean, come on, man. That's true, Lou. Well, that's a fact. Yeah. Dab was only fired 2 people ever. And one of them is Billy Napier. Clemson's staff is full of Clemson players. 3 people. So he fired Napier. He fired what's his face? Shit, the defensive coordinator after the West Virginia game. And that's what I thought that was it. Yeah, Napier and Steele. They rank DJ now, he'd be a low 3-star. Yeah, well, I mean, DJ was a California state champion quarterback who was like putting up ridiculous numbers at St. John's Bosco. He has a Major League Baseball arm. He could throw he's a pitcher. He could throw the ball 100 miles an hour. So he had all the physical attributes and the stats to back up his rating. 5-stars don't always work out the way you think they're going to, though. Most of the time they do. Thank you, Chance-tastic, for the super chat. He says Ohio State is 0-9 in bowl games against the SEC. What did you say? 5-12 against the SEC. You mean 5-12? You said 0-9 against the SEC and 5-12 against the SEC. Which one is it? Don't believe these people. I don't believe anybody. A linebacker play was atrocious. Yeah, that's surprising too, because the linebackers that we have, individual players, are all really good. Especially Trenton Simpson. So yeah, they're underperforming. You're right. They're overrunning guys, bad tackling. I don't know what's going on with it. How many times has Clemson got penetration and got their arms around a quarterback and somehow it turns into a 30-yard scramble pass play when it should have been a 10-yard sack? Seems like it happens every game. It's very frustrating. But listen to these statistics right here. I forgot about this. This is the Tigers on second down this season. All right, second down, which I've been complaining about for weeks, is a throwaway down. They shouldn't even allow Clemson to have 4 downs. They should only be allowed to get 3, because there's no reason to even have a second down, because it's basically a throwaway for the Tigers. Listen to this. The only team in the Power 5 with 0, yeah, that's right, 0.0, 25-plus yard pass completions on second down all season. All right, tied for last in the Power 5 with 8 15-yard receptions on second down. What is this one here? They've only got 23 passes on second down that resulted in a first down. That's 106th in the nation. I mean, this is terrible. 471 total passing yards on second down. That's 114th in the country. And then 8 touchdowns on second down, which is 17th in the country. So that's not bad, but that's usually probably a second down when it's first and goal from the 1-yard line, or second and goal from the 1-yard line. And Will Shipley punches it in. And so they get credit for that. But the bottom line is, if it's second down, it doesn't matter if it's 2nd and 2 or 2nd and 12, Clemson is going to run the ball. And every team knows it. Second down is traditionally a passing down, but not for Clemson. I don't know. I don't know if they think they've figured out some Jedi mind trick. Well, since everybody else passes on second down, we'll just run it. We'll get them confused. Yeah, it ain't working, bro. Outthink themselves. Yeah, they don't give Shipley the ball when it's 3rd and 3, but they'll give Shipley the ball whenever it's 3rd and 22 to run it, because it makes a lot of sense to do that. When it's third and 3, they're more likely to let DJ run it than Shipley. And then when it's 3rd and a mile, they'll give it to Shipley and expecting him to break off a 60-yard run or something. I don't know what they're expecting. Now I'm getting mad. Yeah, I'm just like any other idiot fan. I get mad at the play calling when they're not executing it properly. Urban Meyer's a top 3 coach in college football? Yeah, I don't know about that. He's definitely in the top, he's in the pantheon. I don't know about top 3. I mean, all time is a long time. Top 3 in the, whatever, this generation, our era, whatever, the past 30 or 40 years? Yeah, maybe. Everyone knows guys stat pad the first half, of a close game. Oh, I don't even know. You must be arguing with somebody. Yeah, Grisham. Yeah. Urban might come to A&M when Jimbo is eventually fired in a few years. You think so? I don't know. I'd be surprised if Urban Meyer came back to major coaching. I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe he would. Nebraska should hire Urban Meyer, but they're not the smartest. I'm pretty sure he said that he didn't want that job. Of course, they always say that, so maybe it makes it a different story whenever they dump $10 million a year in your lap. You definitely have to think about it. Of course, I don't think Urban Meyer's hurting for money. Lane Kiffin. I saw something today. What was it? It was about somebody that was interested in the Auburn job, and it was somebody he wouldn't think of. And now I can't think of who it was. Oh, I know who it was. Dan Lanning. Yeah. Dan Lanning at Oregon. There was some article on Twitter that I read insinuating that Dan Lanning might be interested in going to Auburn. What do you guys think the chances of that are? Look, so you say, okay, it's a big-time SEC job. That is true. But who's got a better program right now? Oregon or Auburn? And who's got better resources right now? Oregon. Who's got the better ability to recruit in the top 10, top 5 right now? Oregon. No knock on Auburn, but they're in bad shape right now. You know? So somebody said to me yesterday, yeah, Clemson's program's going downhill, but at least you're not Auburn. I said, God damn, man. Ain't that bad. It's easier to recruit in Oregon because weed's legal. Yeah, I still think you're not allowed to smoke if you're a football player. Yeah. Yeah, it's ridiculous, go Bucks. You know. well, if half of the people that say that kind of shit, they don't believe it. They're just saying it to try to be edgy or something. And the other half are just stupid. Jeff Scott back to Clemson. How do you feel about Dabo throwing Cade in the gown, 21 points, backed up in the end zone? Yeah, we were talking about this earlier, man, but he should have come in. He should have started the second half, you know, and had a chance to put a drive together. Yeah, throwing him down there in the end zone in that situation probably wasn't the smartest thing to do. And then the switch right back to DJ was weird too. I don't know. It was just it was a shit show. Again, I know Clemson's lost. Like they lost pretty badly to Ohio State in the playoffs. They lost pretty badly to LSU in that one national championship game. But really, over the years, whether it's playoffs, regular season, championship games, ACC championship games, bowl games, whatever, Clemson does not usually get blown out. So I've seen some blowouts before, but this one I think it's the most painful one to watch. It was like the team they were totally unprepared. It was the worst coach game I've ever seen under Dabo, or at least in the past 10 years. Maybe not that one year he went 3-9. It was just bad. It was bad. Always Irish said you were 100% class act reaching out to him. I watched you for 5 minutes. You earned my subscribe. Then Clemson fans 100% class. Well, thank you. Yeah. John's a friend of mine. And I was supposed to go to the game this year, and we were going to hang out. He even invited me. He got like an Airbnb right outside of the campus, and he invited me to stay at his B&B for free. And then we just we ended up taking a trip somewhere else last week, so we couldn't afford to take both trips. We spent all our money in Vegas. But yeah, John's a good guy. I'm trying to think when do we go back to Notre Dame? So Notre Dame comes to Clemson next year, I think. I think we go back to South Bend in either 2025 or 2026. If I'm still alive, I'm going to try to go to that. Ohio State plays harder schedule than SEC teams. No. No. Admitting you were wrong means you're not a wuss. I'm trying not to cuss. That's one of my New Year's resolutions. I'm trying to cuss less. But the problem, every time I say I'm going to cuss less, I say fuck it. And I get tired of it. See? It's funny because the whole strength of schedule and the strength of record debate and everything, and the main thing is that people say if you play in the ACC, you have an easy schedule because the ACC sucks, right? Well, Clemson was in the ACC in 2016. They had the #1 strength of schedule and strength of record in the country and won a championship. I'm not a quitter. Nope. Yeah, I don't know why the Ohio State fans get so crazy when you tell them they have a losing record to the ACC, when they have a losing record to Clemson, they have a losing record to the University of South Carolina, so they don't like that, but that's just the fact. just like it's a fact that Clemson laid a giant egg against Notre Dame, I can come to grips with the reality of that because it's a fact. And everybody knows that Georgia looks like the best team right now, but there has been times in the season where Georgia looked beatable, at least twice. And I don't think there's a single team. Let me think here. Out of the teams that are in the top 4 right now, top 5, how many of them at one point or another during the season have looked beatable? I think all of them. The one that's really not really looked close to getting beat, I think maybe was Michigan, but didn't they struggle with Iowa or something? And I know they had a close game with Maryland. They looked beatable in that game. Missouri should be ranked 4. Is Notre Dame ranked now? They got to be, right? They had one of the best wins and one of the best losses, if that's the term you want to use. They are ranked, okay. Yeah, Notre Dame 20th, all right. Well, they should be. Yeah, we'll see what they are tomorrow night. I think they'll be in the, I was jumping in the top 4 tonight. Is it tonight? I mean tomorrow night. "81 people in here, only 35 thumbs up. Y'all make sure you hit the thumbs up because YouTube really cares and it helps these videos out and it's free. Michigan was down 17-14 at the half. Yeah, every team's had their moments. And, well, Clemson's been having those moments all year and somehow been figuring out a way to win these games that they try to hand away. And they just weren't able to do that on Saturday. Can we get a Wi-Fi update? Yeah, it's back on. Yeah, I got it back on Sunday morning. Only took me about an hour on the phone, which pissed me off too because somehow they fixed my Wi-Fi over the phone. So if you can fix my Wi-Fi over the phone, that should be something that takes 5 minutes. Why does it take you an hour? You know why it takes an hour? Is because they try to make you unplug it and replug it in about 10 times before they do anything about it. And I'm like, look, I've already unplugged it. I already know the deal. If I'm resetting my router, unplug it, blow on it, whatever you want to do for 30 seconds and then see if it reboots itself. I already did it 100 times on Friday night. But of course, she had me do it another 10 times. And then after that was over, I guess they sent some signal to the router and it popped back on. So there you go. Clemson's still a top 5 team. No, they're not. No, they're not. They should be. Never blow someone for Wi-Fi. Yeah, I've never been in this position where I had to blow somebody for Wi-Fi, so thank God. Clemson's a top 10 team, but that's about it. That's like I said yesterday. I mean, they earned their number 4 ranking last week because of their resume, and they were undefeated. But when you have a performance like what you saw on Saturday, you can't consider yourself a top 5 team. And I don't think they will be considered one. Well, I don't know. What were they ranked in the AP? They were ranked like, what was it, 12th or something? They might be 11 or 10, 11, 12 or something in the committee rankings. I don't know. Yeah, 12th. That's really what I mean, they deserve that. They deserve to fall that far. If they win out from here on out, that would be wins over Louisville, which isn't very impressive. But then you'd have wins over Miami and then South Carolina. And then an ACC championship game against probably North Carolina. They'll probably be ranked unless they shoot themselves in the foot this weekend. And Clemson will move up into the, whatever, top 6 or 7 or something, but they won't be in the top 4. I don't think they're going to be in the top 4. Some people say that they still have. Somebody said in here earlier that ESPN still gives Clemson like a 62% chance to make the playoffs. I'm like, yeah, I don't know where they're coming up with that number. That sounds high to me. Jesus Christ. A muffler on that thing, son. Somebody asked me for a contractor update. Yeah, he's still here. It's the HVAC guy. They're doing all kinds of work to my AC system and heating system. How'd you fix your faucet? Did you watch Honey Dewey? He showed you how to fix a leaky faucet using a garden hose and duct tape. Yeah. Is she hot? Who hot? Who the hell would want to go up north and play in cold and snow? Well, that's a good point, except for, if these guys have aspirations to go in the NFL, there's about a 50% chance they're going to be drafted somewhere where it's cold. But I understand your sentiment. If I were trying to choose a college to go to, I would prefer one that's sunny, where the girls are wearing less than more. Yes. Georgia is not a dynasty. No, stop it. Whoever said that, stop it. No. One championship does not make you a dynasty. Does anyone have a Clemson bowl prediction? I'm saying Orange Bowl. That's about right, Lou. Yeah, I don't even think Clemson was a dynasty. I mean, they won 2 titles in 3 years and made the playoffs 6 consecutive years. Still have a winning record in the playoffs. But that's not quite dynasty status. I mean, that's really amazing and everything. Look, the 10-year run that Clemson had up until last year was really close to what Bama did in 10 years. They were second to only Bama in virtually every major category you could think of. Wins, postseason wins, conference championships, just everything. But they were no dynasty. Yeah, toilet bowl. Look, if Clemson's going to probably finish 11 wins, maybe even 12 if they win their bowl game. So if that's toilet bowl, give me toilet bowl. I'll take 11 and 12 wins every year. Next year, Clemson's going to have some issues, though. assuming that DJ moves on in one capacity or another, Cade Klubnik becomes the starter. We'll also have another freshman next year, Vizina, another 5-star quarterback. Shipley will still be there. So, what's up, man? The drain line's actually on the side, I think.
It's on the side?
Yeah.
What's this, your water?
Yeah, I don't know what that is, but I'm pretty sure whenever I run the AC, it comes out over there
Okay.
on the side of the house. Yeah. Those dogs are gonna bark at you the whole time too. Just so you know. All right. No, you good. You can leave it open.
I'm just hitting this too anyway.
All right.
I got everything in. I just got my supervisor coming to verify everything.
Yeah. All right. Jesus. Yeah, so they're about to wrap up out there. He's only got about 5 more minutes of work, so I'm gonna have to get off here. I gotta pay the man and talk to him and everything. So, yeah, I'll be back on tonight at 10 p.m. With Uncle Lou for the Lunch Money Show. Y'all come check that out. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I appreciate you. Talk to y'all later. Your boy, checking out.